Alright, today we're going to install Mudflaps on the Veloster. Really excited about these. These are not the ones meant for the N version because this is not an N, obviously. I'm sure all of you knew that. And these will fit the turbo model and the base model, base premium, R-spec. You know, they're all kind of the same thing, but that's what they look like. I got the kind of classic red with red lettering with the black Mudflap. Very exciting. Comes with everything you need. Comes with all the hardware, the brackets for the front. These are pretty heavy duty actually. And today we're gonna put them on. All right. All right. Now that it's all laid out, this is what you get. Of course, your 4 Mudflaps. Get a lot of these. These are actually plastic washers. 4 screws, 2 bolts, all of these fastening nuts, these bracket things, not sure what those are for yet, those 2 front brackets, these foam spacers. These are also foam spacers. These are plastic spacers, about the same depth as these, and these shorter ones. So here's kind of the guide of what you're looking at. This is what these fit. If you have the N version, you're gonna have to get the N version of their Mudflaps. So let's get into it. All right, first and foremost, we're gonna clean this general area, as it says. I've just got some water with some soap in here and a towel. Just gonna spray it. Don't worry, I'm gonna wash my car after. Okay, next step is to remove these 2 screws. There's one right here and one down here. Alright, once that's done, now we're gonna get the bracket for the front and we're gonna kind of line it up with the studs facing outwards like this, and you're basically gonna bend it until it matches the curvature of your well. Mine is just barely bent. Bend it by hand. Don't bend it too hard. You can bend it back. It's pretty easy to bend, so it's kind of like a hit or miss. If you miss, then you can just undo it and try again. I would suggest not bending and unbending too much because there is a hole here and you don't want to decrease the integrity of your metal and ending up snapping it. I'm not sure what type of metal this is, but that is entirely a possibility. Alright, so an issue I'm coming across is these large foam pieces. This adhesive is actually stuck to the actual white backing. I have no problem with the longer one, but I think I might have to just use, it looks like they provide extra ones, these extra ones to put up here as it shows. To kind of get the alignment right. So I'm going to ditch these, use those extra ones to kind of let it sit nicely. Okay, so what I did, this is not in the instructions, so if you don't want to do this, that's up to you. Just these didn't work for me, so if they work for you, you're going to be fine. If not, they provide extra foam ones you can use. So one on the bottom, just as instructed, you're going to have to clean the inner side of your painted fender, and we stuck one right here. That one is part of the instructions as well. What's not part of the instructions is this one right here. I just got one of the long ones and cut it in half because the long ones was going to cover the holes. So basically what's actually holding the bracket to your car is the same screws that you use to hold this liner in. Okay, now to make things a little easier for myself, I'm just going to tighten these 2 bolts here. Make sure that the lettering is at the right orientation. So when you're looking back, it's hanging like that in respect to the front of the vehicle. This pertains to any vehicle, honestly, but It's just kind of common sense. It's something that can be overlooked potentially, but then you'll later realize that something's not right. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and tighten these down. After that, you're gonna attach it here, and you're gonna screw in your 2 screws that you had originally, and you'll see what it looks like. Quick note, don't forget you have washers that you're gonna use for every single one, and they provide plenty. Just like that, the front is done. It's looking really good. One recommendation I would make is to bend the bottom one like inwards like this, so that it can put pressure, or else it's just going to be hanging out, which is the problem I had. But now it looks a lot better and looks a lot more secure. So that's it. Now I'm going to do the back. All right, so moving to the rear. Really didn't have to do this, but I had to take the tire off and the wheel. These wheels are obviously aftermarket, so they're 1/2 inch wider than the OEM, so I couldn't fit my screwdriver to get these 2 screws out back here. There's one right here, and there's one right here. Even with my really small screwdriver, I wasn't able to get in there, and I didn't want to like cross thread or strip anything. So you will have to take it off if your wheels are wider. I think if you have OEM wheels, you should be okay. You like my H&R springs? Sheesh. Got a video on that. So I'm going to take these 2 off, and that's the first step, and we'll go from there. Next, we're going to clean the area. I already sprayed some solution here. I'll make sure you're working with a nice surface. Next, we got 2 of these foam spacers. You're just gonna put it right over these holes right here. So one here, just like that, and the other one. Once those are in, we got this push on the bottom. You can just get any flat head. It's gonna pop right out. Okay, so now this is going to be fitting inside the liner. On top, you're gonna have basically this right here. So you have a nut, washer, the bracket, nut, another washer, and then the bolt. And that's so that you can fasten the mud flap to this point right here at the bottom of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten it up. I'm just gonna use that hole. And yeah. Alright, last step is you're just going to get a washer. You're going to tighten that nut. And you're going to get one of the screws, get a washer. Then you're going to get one of these plastic spacers and put it on top of the foam one, just so it can kind of be even. Once you install it, you understand. And then tighten everything up, throw the tire on. You're good to go, and I'll show you the final result. Alright, here we go. Clearance wise, some of you may know I am lowered, so 1.4 inches from OEM with my H&R lowering springs. I have aftermarket tires, but they're the same size as the OEM. This is how low I am with my Mudflaps. It's about probably 4, a little less than 4 fingers from the ground. I think they look awesome. This is what they look like. Sorry, I just don't want to show my license plate too many times. Look at that. Alright. So, there you guys go. Really happy with them. It's kind of a pain to install, to be honest, but I think they came out awesome.